The Foundation was created to save humanity, but the coming darkness was always the turning point.
The Mule is here. We're out of time.
You think I'm a monster? I have talents, you see.
The new chapter of the saga arrives on July 11, 2025, when Season 3 drops its first episode globally, launching a weekly rollout that carries through until September 12. This release marks a full 152-year leap forward in the narrative timeline, jumping from the events of Season 2 into an era where the galaxy has shifted significantly. Production faced a longer cycle than usual, influenced by the 2023 industry strikes and reported budgetary constraints, which affected both filming pace and scheduling. In this season, the cast returns with familiar faces and surprising changes. Lee Pace reprises his role as Brother Day, only now he plays a new incarnation. Rumored to be Cleon XXII, or XXIV, a monarch jaded and weary of his endless lineage. Jared Harris is back as Hari Seldon, while Lou Llobell remains Gaal Dornick, now emerging into a more central role. A major recast is Pilou Asbæk stepping into the role of the Mule, taking over from the previous actor. New series regulars include Cherry Jones, Brandon P. Bell, Synnøve Karlsen, and Cody Fern, expanding the playing field as the story's stakes widen. The story opens with the Empire's Cleonic Dynasty in decline, the Foundation having grown into a sprawling network of more than 800 planets, the outer reach of civilization shifting. The uneasy alliance between Foundation and Empire is under threat, as the mysterious warlord known as the Mule emerges from the shadows. A mentalic mutant of terrifying power, he represents a force unlike any the protagonists have faced before. The season explores questions of power, legacy, free will, and the nature of empire as the chessboard of galactic history rearranges itself. Brother Day, once the embodiment of imperial dominance, finds himself disillusioned. Lee Pace describes this version of the character as fat and happy, yet internally resentful of the station he occupies, aware of the manipulation behind the throne, and longing for something more meaningful than clutching onto a dying dynasty. Meanwhile, Brother Dawn and Brother Dusk continue to maneuver around the legacy of the Cleon line. The robotic advisor Demerzel looms large, orchestrating events behind the scenes. Seldon and Gaal are tasked with safeguarding humanity's future, while new alliances and betrayals reshape the chessboard. Production resumed in early 2024 in Prague after being halted by the strikes and budget constraints. Behind the scenes, there was a shift in the creative team. Showrunner David S. Goyer stepped back from his day-to-day duties, transitioning into an executive producer role, with Bill Boss taking over showrunner responsibilities. Despite these changes, the visual ambition remains high. The season delivers sweeping galaxy-spanning vistas, intricate palace intrigue, mutant mayhem, and the deeper politics beneath the surface of empire and rebellion. Critics have reacted positively. Reviewers call Season 3 a triumph in ambition, noting that although the pace sometimes charges ahead a bit too fast, the payoff is satisfying. The season is described as finding new momentum, especially in how it handles the arrival of the Mule, delivering a threat that feels both ancient and terrifyingly immediate. One review said the finale left me stunned, thanks to major character shifts and bold narrative turns, even surprising longtime fans of the source material. Speaking of deviations, the adaptation takes liberties. Although rooted in Isaac Asimov's original novels, this season leans into changes characters behave differently, plotlines twist in unexpected directions, and the show maintains its own identity rather than slavishly adhering to the books. For example, the identity and motivations of the Mule are handled with fresh perspective, altering expectations while preserving the spirit of the story. The result, longtime readers still find Easter eggs, but newcomers get a thrilling ride, unburdened by having to know the novels. The season also doubles down on thematic depth: Empire versus Foundation, control versus chaos, legacy versus innovation. The Cleon clones have always symbolized the burden of inherited power. Now we see that burden fracture, crumble, maybe even collapse. The Foundation, once reactive, becomes proactive. The stakes are no longer simply survival of human knowledge. Now the question is, what shape the galaxy will take when the established order is broken? With the introduction of the Mule as a dominant threat, the story gains urgency. This is not just another imperial challenge. This is a mutation of power, one that bends minds and shakes faith. The season's writers do not shy away from brutal shifts. Character deaths, betrayals, revelations, they all converge toward a finale that reshapes what viewers thought they knew about where the story was headed. One reviewer described the path as bumpy in places, but ultimately satisfying, noting that the season lands its dramatic beats with heavy impact. In terms of scope, Season 3 expands the sandbox in every direction: planets, alien worlds, expanded political arenas, hidden laboratories, secret psychological warfare. The cinematography, set design, and visual effects continue to elevate the series, indicating that despite budget pressures, the creative ambition was upheld. The costumes and design of the Cleonic Dynasty, the visual contrast between imperial opulence and the rugged frontier of Foundation worlds, the depiction of the Mule's realm all push the envelope in terms of scale and imagination. Character arcs are rich this season. Gaal Dornick transitions from prodigy to architect, grappling with the weight of Seldon's vision and the legacy of the Foundation she helped form. Hari Seldon remains the moral center, but he is more haunted, more aware of the cracks in his predictions. Brother Day becomes an emperor in crisis. Brother Dawn and desk maneuver for survival, and Demerzel's loyalty and machinations prove more complex than ever. New characters, traitors, Foundation operatives, Empire dissenters add texture and allow the story to explore rebellion, trade, espionage, sabotage, and the fragility of alliance in a galaxy on the brink. The premiere episode sets the tone: the old order teeters, the next generation rises, the shocks are primed. The weekly rhythm of the rollout allows viewers to savor the unfolding tension, speculate on secrets, and follow each twist as it lands. As the trailers have indicated, the war is upon us. But this is not just war of guns and planets, it's war of minds, of commitments, of what civilization means when its foundations are shaken. Looking ahead, the show has already been renewed for a 4th season, confirming that the story is far from over. With Season 3 pushing the boundaries of what the series can do in terms of narrative and spectacle, expectations for Season 4 are high. Will the first and second Foundations emerge? Will the Mule's upheaval lead to the collapse of the Empire or its transformation? The chess game continues, and the pawns are becoming kings. For fans of epic Sci-Fi, Season 3 of this series offers both spectacle and substance. It invites you to consider the long view, the rise and fall of empires, the meaning of progress, the role of the individual in a galaxy shaped by equations and destiny. Whether you're a veteran of the novels or returning to the series now, there's much to unpack: character revelations, moral complexity, dazzling visuals, and a finale that clears the board for what comes next. To sum up, the season opens a new era in the saga, changes the dynamics of power, introduces a formidable villain, deepens character journeys, and elevates the production to new heights. If you thought previous seasons were bold, this one raises the bar. The time to dive back in has arrived.